There's a war coming, Ned. I don't know when, I don't know who we'll be fighting. But it's coming.
It's this time again to celebrate and have a joyful time, because after 2 years Game of Thrones has returned on our televisions, or mostly on illegal streams. So everyone give a like when you see it illegal. Never mind. So it's time. Game of Thrones is again here. It's only 6 episodes. We have already seen episode 1, and this is my little special for this season. Because it only has 6 episodes, I will review every episode instead of the end to review the whole season. And my kind of review will be, I just talk about a little what happened in that episode, and I will say the key scenes, my favorite scenes, and my predictions about the next episode, or whatever. We will see. Now it's time to put on our Game of Thrones wear, merchandise, whatever. Grab your drinking horn and let's go. Winter has finally arrived. On this episode, everything plays in Winterfell. Well, not everything, 80%. We still have some scenes in King's Landing with Cersei and Greyjoy, our favorite uncle in Westeros. And there's one scene when we see... No, it's still in Winterfell. Not really Winterfell, but it's in a cold place. I tell about this scene later. But the first scene, or the last scene of season 7, was Jon and Daenerys going with their ships into Winterfell. The next destination is Winterfell, so we can gather our arms and protecting Winterfell or Westeros against the battle of the undead. And now they're going into Winterfell. And I liked the style, or not the style, I liked the way how they're filmed. And there was a little throwback to the first season, the first episode, where King Robert, the Lannister army, Cersei and their bastard kids come into Winterfell, and they've all been invited with open arms by Ned Stark. And in the role of the kid, where he jumps through stones and climbing on a tree to have a better view, that was just like Bran climbing on towers, and then Arya walking around the people to see a better view about the King Robert. And we also had the same score in the background, The King Arrived. That was a cool throwback to the first season. Yeah, it's like we're going full circle now with the first season and the last season. So did this mean King Robert arrived in Winterfell, then he died. Daenerys arrived in Winterfell. Will she die also? I don't know if going to Winterfell is a good karma for a king or a queen or for a high lord. I don't know. And when we see how Jon and Daenerys walking side by side on their horses, or riding side by side by their horses and going to Winterfell, Arya is one of the people who looking and standing and are very skeptical, because Northmen are not trustful to strangers. And she sees Jon, but she kind of hesitates. She just wants to scream, "Jon, I'm here!" We all been waiting for this reunion between Jon and Arya. We will see that later, but in that moment we were all, "Arya, come on, say something!" Screaming out, "Jon, I'm here!" Ooh. But somehow she stopped her voice and didn't say nothing. And then we see Jon arrive to Winterfell, or in the center of Winterfell. He meets Bran. Bran's still the zombie he is, on a wheelchair. And then Daenerys sees Sansa, and Sansa says, "Winterfell is yours, my queen." Just like Ned Stark told to King Robert, "Winterfell is yours, my grace." That was a cool scene. Then we finally see the reunion between Arya and Jon. And Jon stands on that tree that bleeds somehow. This face, this is the shape of face, and the tears or whatever it is. It reminds a little, it's just like blood's tears. And he stands on the tree. Again, you hear the Stark theme, and this theme always kills me. But now we see Arya says you become taller, or you got it taller, and Jon responds as how you could sneak up on me. Well, I'm a ninja. No, it's just like really not really, but see, then Arya jumps into the arms of Jon the same way then that the moment Jon left for the wall. It was the same moment Arya said goodbye. Now the same way he says hello, finally you're back. And there was a cool moment between each other, who they exchanged their weapons, and Jon says, you still have needed, did you use it? And Arya says once or twice. And then Jon shows her his sword, his Valyrian steel sword. But Arya responds with, no, it's too heavy, I can't use it, I can't handle it. And then Arya says, Sansa doesn't like your queen. And Jon says, Sansa thinks she's smart. And then Arya says, she's the smartest I know. And Jon is like surprised that now you defend her. This is not typical. But hey, last time you were in Winterfell, they're all big kids. Now we all grown up. But there was a key line from Arya who says Sansa just wants to protect her family. And Jon also says, this is the same thing I want to do. And then Arya said to him, don't forget it. And that was a crucial, maybe a key moment for the show. Maybe we'll see later in the episodes where, I don't know, when it comes to protecting Winterfell or protecting humankind. I don't know. But I hope for an epic kind of Return of the King epic ending. With a lot of bloodshed, a lot of tears, a lot of sacrifices. Honorable sacrifices. And then we're seeing King's Landing, the first scene with Cersei and Euron Greyjoy. And Euron, with this arrogant kind of way, he can somehow persuade every woman to sleep with her and sleep with him, sorry. And now he is successful and also riding a queen, Cersei. But as we know at the last season, Yara is captured by Euron. And he is his hostile. And he still has her alive, and she tells him, why don't you just kill me? I don't want to kill you. I will not have anyone to have conversations with. The thing is, everyone on the ship or Euron's crew has no tongue. So nobody can really talk. I don't know, they have a specific term, no tongues. Don't have a specific term, the crew, but everyone in his crew has no tongue. This is the way nobody can talk back to him or don't birth a mutiny, so nobody will question him or all of his decisions. That's a smart way. Let's go back to Winterfell, where Daenerys and Jorah Mormont, and holy shit, Jorah has such a beautiful armor. He looking so amazing. He looking so young, so healthy. Now he has all his stone skin cured by whom? By Samwell Tarly. Yes. And now Daenerys and Jorah goes to Samwell Tarly to thank him personally. And she finds out that Sam is a member of the Tarly family. And if you remember, the father and the brother of Samuel just get roasted by the dragons for not bend the knee. Samuel is in pain, is in tears, is devastated.
Not Randall Tarly.
You know him?
I offered to let him retain his lands and titles if he bent the knee. He refused.
At least I'll be allowed home again, now that my brother's the Lord.
Your brother stood with your father.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And the first scene when the icy tears comes out of your eyes. This was the poor Sam. He's so poor. You just want to hug him and said everything will be fine. But everything cannot be not fine. So he has not brother. So I don't know if it was really sad, or in the moment he was sad, sure, for his father. But I guess the most tears was for his brother, because his brother was not a dick at all to him, just like the father. Not really funny, but for me it's funny because Samuel just runs out of the library, and he goes out of the on the field, on the hall by Winterfell, and he sees Bran across him on a wheelchair, and I just thought, does he shit all day from the time Jon meets to now? Nobody just wheels him on the other side or inside so he cannot freeze to death? No, it's like, come on, who cares about that? The cripple, just leave him be. We have to prepare for a battle. Just let him there rot so we can have a mouth less to feed. And speaking of some, the next scene is also great. So my favorite scenes in this episode all belongs with Sam. And Sam next goes to Jon to tell him the truth. The truth. So the truth of he is a Targaryen. Because everyone knows it. Saying everyone, I mean we the audience already know it. Bran know it. Sam knows it, and now Jon will also know it. The way how the scene was filmed in the cave where Ned Stark and King Robin was also, and he says, when King Robin stands of the statue of Lyanna Stark, and he says, always I kill him every time in my dreams.
Did you have to bury her in a place like this? She should be on a hill somewhere with the sun and the clouds above her.
She was my sister. This is where she belongs.
She belonged with me. In my dreams, I kill him every night.
It's done, Your Grace. Targaryens are gone.
Not all of them.
You've never been a bastard. You are Aegon Targaryen, true heir to the Iron Throne. I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to take in.
My father was the most honorable man I ever met. You said he lied to me all my life.
Your father, Ned Stark, he promised your mother he'd always protect you. And he did. Robert would have murdered you if he knew. You're the true king. Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name, protector of the realm, all of it.
That Jon realizes he's the true king, and he doesn't like that role at all, to have responsibilities, to be a king, to rule and have decisions. He really doesn't like that. And now it's getting interesting. What vibe the show will go on for the next episodes. How the relationship between Daenerys and Jon will be, or will Jon tell her at all that he is the king? So it's just like, remember the time when I bent the knee for you? Now it's time to bend for me. My favorite scene was, and we get the reveal of, yes, they're alive. Tormund and Beric are alive, and they're going to the house of the house Umber. And this scene really reminds me when the Fellowship goes to the mines of Moria, and they're just found dead. Everyone's just dead, decay, nothingness, and this was so cool filmed. No dialogue, everywhere dead bodies. Before they get into the hall of the house Umber, everything was black. So the entry was just pitch black, and I like the acting in that scene when Dondarrion just goes first inside and Tormund just looks kind of surprised, but at the same time just you just realize, wait a minute, a man goes first, not a whiteling. Oh, I will not hear the end of it. And yeah, that was just like in the Return of the King. And then they hear sounds. They're expecting the undead, but then they found some members of the Night Watch and the Lord Commander Ed. And that was cool, the response of Ed.
Stay back, he's got blue eyes!
I've always had blue eyes!
After they realized they're not undead, and Tormund always had blue eyes, the way how they shake their hands was just so brotherly when you realize they were enemies before, the Whitelings versus the Crows. But now this is all in the past, and now they are brothers, and they know there's a bigger threat, not our little fights between the Crows and the Whitelings. That was cool. I thought, how can Tormund die, or Beric Dondarrion? He's such a cool character. He has this typical, when you create a own cool dude in a role-playing game, you have a fire sword, you have he has the eye patch, the way he talks, the way deep voice he has, I love that. And if fire kills undead, and if he had a Valyrian steel with fire, make this more damage, plus 40 damage, I don't know, but he is cool, Tormund is cool, Ed, I don't know if he will join the fight, but I guess he will join the fight, so we will see all the cool dudes fighting. And then after the little reunion between Beric, Tormund and Ed, they just found the little boy Umber dead, nailed on the wall by the Night King, and creating a sign just looking like a tentacle with arms and legs. It's just like the way the Night King taunts the humans or the living. This means after they cross the wall and after they cross House Umber, I don't know if the House Umber is closer to the wall or to Winterfell. Or I don't know if first it's the wall, then it's the Night Watch, then Lord Umber's house, or Lord Glover's, and then goes to Winterfell. I don't know that correctly, sorry. That was my favorite scene. But the last scene was so cool because everyone just waited for that particularly reunion between Jaime and Bran. The last time Jaime saw Bran was, of course, when he pushed him off the tower. Things I do for love. Push. And now he is in Winterfell, looking again to Bran and says, oh fuck. He's still alive. Oh, and now I'm very curious about that moment. What happens to Jaime? Now he is cleansed by his sins, isn't anymore the puppet of Cersei, and he has now his free mind, and he knows what's true, what his true goal is now, to help protect human against the dead. And I guess now he will pledge his name for Jon. I will stand beside Jon Snow for the against the fight of the undead. I really don't get the negativity that this episode gets on the review, because this is one of the stupid things I hate people or the internet per se, when they have a theory and things that doesn't happen as they're expecting, is already bad or is a disappointment. And I don't really get it. I enjoyed really this episode. Yeah, it doesn't have any action, but now we still have 5 episodes, and that action you missed on that episode, you will see it on the next 5 episodes. And because we have only 5 episodes still, and we all want to see that big battle that happened, now for all those critics out there, you will see in the next episodes bigger things, bigger and spectacular scenes, as you wish. It has a little action when Theon rescues Yara, and this was cool because he wants to fight, or just wants to protect his queen and doing what she wants and follow her whatever she intended for him, but she just realized he just wants to fight, go back to Winterfell, somehow clean his name.
We can take our home back.
Daenerys went north.
Daenerys will need somewhere to retreat if they can't hold the north. Somewhere the dead can't go.
You're my queen. I go where you command.
You want to go to Winterfell? To fight for the Starks? Go. What is dead may never die.
What is dead may never die.
But kill the bastards anyway.
I don't see any negativity. Just be happy to see this show again. Just be happy. I just want to see that characters talking, interact with each other. This is what I want to see, and I will see the action. This is inevitable. So don't be so critical. Enjoy the time you have, because after 6 weeks you will say, oh, Game of Thrones is over. So appreciate the time you have. Appreciate what you have. Okay? Oh, that was philosophical. So yeah, that was my review. I don't have any expectations. I don't think what will happen next. I'm just happy for what the creators have done, and I will just see what they're done with that, and I will always be thankful for that. And Game of Thrones will come to an end. Yeah, that's a pity. So that was season 1. That was episode 1 of season 8. Did you enjoy it? I did. So I cannot wait for next week. I have to refill my drinking horn, to be ready for another mundane show. On another show on Monday, another mundane show. Wiggle, shaking my horn. Yeah, this is cool. They were fun, and only 5 episodes. Fuck. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget, winter has come.